One day, Alister was picking up passengers at the main station to take on a hilltop service. "How many passengers?" Alister called. "I counted about 4, called the porter. "Gee, sure is an empty train," said Alister as he departed. That afternoon, Alister told the other engines about what had happened. "You too, little Alister," said Robert. "I had about 12 passengers on the Peak Express today." "I wonder what's going on," said Alister. The Fat Controller soon turned up at the sheds. "I have some bad news," he said seriously. "There has been an outbreak of a cold virus recently, and there are ideas to close down the railway." The engines all looked at one another. "But, sir, can't we just continue work?" asked Gino. "Well, we could. It's taking a risk because if there's no passengers, there's no money. If there's no money, there's no service. And if there's no service, there is no Northern Australia Railway," replied the Fat Controller. "Does this include freight?" asked Rufus. "Yes, it does, Rufus," replied the Fat Controller. "So I'm sorry to say I have agreed to temporarily shut down the railway until this is wiped over," he said. The next day, there were absolutely no trains running on the Northern Australia whatsoever. None at all. It was very quiet. And to make matters worse, complaints from the locals started filling up the Fat Controller's front garden, saying how bad a railway it was for no trains being run. It got to the point where the Fat Controller had no choice but to compromise. G'day," he called to all the engines, and they all responded to him with a jump. "Oh, good morning, sir," they called. "I have received heaps of complaints," said the Fat Controller, "so it means I have no choice but to introduce a temporary reduced timetable," he said to the engines. "Hooray!" called the engines. "I'm currently working on the new timetable as we speak. It'll be out by tomorrow, and we'll be taking it in turns at who hauls the trains." He then turned to Alister. "Alister, would you be able to haul some quick services for me?" "Yes, sir." "How many would you need?" "About 2, replied the Fat Controller. So, for the rest of that day, with the 2 services Alister did, it all worked out well and the passengers got where they needed to. And as for the new timetable, that's another story.